We've just got to realize if that energy isn't being honored, it's going to bite us somehow. And the other major emotions are associated with different things too we could talk about, or get somebody who's really good at that to talk about it. I just know anger real well because I used to have an anger problem. So, nice.
All right. Well, you were mentioning about when you first started making videos and you would look at the camera to
Yep.
sort of slow yourself down and be more present.
Yes.
And I was actually noticing this yesterday because you're so natural with people, and it's kind of ironic because I'm somewhat extroverted, and people think that I'm really confident and gregarious and all of that. But around new people, I can be really anxious, and it's kind of the same thing when I look at the camera. Like, I know the way to make eye contact with you is to
Yep.
look at the camera, and it's the same as looking at a person's eyes. And as soon
Yep.
as I do that, I notice the self-consciousness come up. Like yesterday I was speaking with someone, and when I was talking and I could look away and sort of think within, it was fine. But as soon as I looked at her in the
Yes.
eye and she was speaking, it wasn't that I wasn't interested in what she had to say, but I felt this slight anxiety
Got
right
it.
away. And she was a very easygoing person, wonderful energy, so it wasn't anything on her
Yeah.
part. How do you deal with that? Or I don't, it doesn't seem like you ever even have that problem.
This is fabulous. So and it's funny to me, not even funny. It's divinely miraculous the way things flow, right? So the opening for the liver, okay, that anger, frustration energy, right, that amping up is the eyes, right? So when you look, if you think about two boxers before they fight, right? I used to be a fighting martial artist. Now I'm a fun martial artist. Back in the old days, but if you look at like two boxers before they fight, they'll come out and what do? They eyeball each other. They try to see who got the biggest eyes, who got the eyes highest, that kind of thing. But they eyeball each other, and you can watch them. They start bouncing up and down. They're getting all this energy. They're eyeballing each other, so on and so forth. And again, that's just getting that liver energy, the energy of I'm going to kick your butt. Yeah, that anger, that resentment. It gets it more active, right? So scale it down a bit. You and I are in a social setting. I don't do small talk all that well. I have no interest in it, and I have no almost zero awareness on world events, right? So it makes me I'm an interesting party guest. So when I go to a party or something like that, which is pretty rare, but occasionally I got to get around family and party and stuff like that, and I show up, and again, you can watch this. People will look each other in the eye, and you'll just see like something starts to happen. The solution for this is to look at the ear, and not even look at the ear. Put the attention on the ear, right? So I can, while I'm talking to you, just let my attention go to your ear just a little bit. And it could be just by glancing over your shoulder, or just keeping in my peripheral, keeping the peripheral vision a little bit active. The peripheral vision is the soft vision, the loving vision, the vision that activates water in the body. The peripheral vision and putting a little bit of attention on the ear, this is associated with the kidney. The kidney is associated with fear. And so anger, fear being one of those interesting things, if we can use the attention through the eyes and just put a little bit of attention on their ear, suddenly the two mix and settle each other down.
Hmm.
It's miraculous. Victoria and I have done this with strangers' kids when we're out eating. There'll be a 2-year-old or a 1.5-year-old at a table losing it. And the parents are trying not to lose it, and then they're bending over looking at this little human in the eyes saying, "Stop it, Jimmy." And Jimmy, right? It just comes right back out, right? And we'll sit there and I'll say, "Hey, babe, pick an ear." And she'll go left, and I'll go, "Got it, right." And we'll each just sort of gently focus on the bubby's ears. And in Chinese medicine theory, attention, our energy follows attention. So anything we give attention to, we're giving energy to, or drawing energy towards. And so we sit there and just relax and look at Bubby's ears. And then you can watch Bubby, he'll start to settle down. And if the parents act up, I'll take one of the parents. Victoria gets the baby, I get the parent. And I'll look at the parents' ears. Just not staring, but just I'll just keep it in my peripheral vision where it's soft while I'm eating my food, and everything settles down. So you can try that as a neat little trick anywhere, anytime, and it's lovely to just watch how it affects everyone. Yeah.
Interesting. So are they able to see you looking at their ears, or is it just you looking at their ears that makes a difference? Like you could be behind them or something.
Correct. I don't even got to see them if I just put my attention on the ear. So we tend to think attention has to go through the senses, but it doesn't. That's a more advanced thing to explore. But yeah, just putting your attention on the ears, you can watch people soften. You can do it to the person who's two people in front of you in the grocery store who's about to lose it because the grocery store is understaffed. Yeah. So you can just sit there and just sort of gently put your attention on their ears. And literally, you'll watch the body, it'll wiggle a little bit, it'll settle down a little bit, they'll soften a little bit. It's miraculous to watch.
Do you ever get self-conscious?